Well, hello. If I'm sounding particularly crisp and high quality today, it's because I'm sat in a proper podcast studio down at 1 Mill Street. And sat with me here is Cat Callicott, who is the general manager at 1 Mill Street. Cat, welcome to Life in Lem.
Thank you so much, Tim.
Splendid.
Thanks for
So it's a
coming.
lovely, lovely spot you've got down here. I've wandered past this for years and years and wondered what it was all about. And so I came in a couple of weeks ago and spoke to Kat, and she said, "Well, come sit down. We'll tell you all about it." So that's why we're here today.
It is.
So give us a bit of history. Tell us a little bit about how 1 Mill Street got started and what the concept is behind it.
Yeah, so 1 Mill Street's owned by a couple called Nigel and Desi. And Nigel sold his business, did very, very well out of that, and wanted to do something different, something that gave back, something for the community. And happened to walk across the bridge, saw this building, said it was sold. They were like, "Oh no, sold." Rang up and Kismet being what it is, it actually wasn't sold at that point, and they got the building. And the idea originally for this building was it to be housing Make Good Grow. Now, Make Good Grow is our impact arm of 1 Mill Street. So we also sort of term it our good department. So originally when we got the building, it was just for that, and we matchmake. And this is a common theme through Mill Street. But with Make It Grow, we matchmake businesses, people with skills, volunteers that have a very specific skill with a good cause or a charity that needs that for a sort of time-bound piece of work or project. And then we celebrate it. So it's really, really nice. And then when they got the building, they thought, it's a bit big just for doing that.
Right.
And then this idea of a co-work space came about, which was, the first real kind of one in the area to this size. And yeah, and then unlike a lot of co-work spaces, we've got this beautiful public area that you
Yes,
can
because
see
this is
here.
this is a space on multiple layers, really, isn't it? And so give us a sense of geography. You've got a downstairs and you've got an upstairs, and they're a little bit different, aren't they?
Yes, absolutely. So the ground floor, when you come in, it's our coffee house, our bar. That was really, really important for us to have that community aspect so that anyone can come in. If you're here just with your laptop, that's okay. If you're here with your friends, that's okay too. If you're here on a dog walk, if you're here with your mum friends, whoever you might be, there's a place for you here. And our coffee house serves food and coffee and cake and all those lovely bits. And if you want a glass of wine, the bar can do that for you. Then heading upstairs is our member zone. So our members have a different tiers of membership here depending on what their need is. We have light memberships. They can come here 5 days a month. They can be here 24/7 if they want to be with their hot desk membership. Then we have dedicated desks, offices, meeting rooms, this podcast studio. So that's sort of upstairs. Then we have the mezzanine, which is sort of an office without the glass partitions, really. And that's sort of how the building works. But down here is the glue of all of it.
And this is the public space. Anyone can come in here. They can sit themselves down, grab a cup of coffee, grab a glass of wine or a pastry or whatever,
Correct.
set themselves up and hang out here.
Yeah, absolutely. And amazing things happen here as well, not just upstairs.
So tell us about some of the amazing things that happen here then, Kat.
It happens every
Give us an
day.
example.
So something that we do as a team is we do engineer connection here. So people put on networking events. They do this. They want to meet these people. We just think that can happen in every situation, whether you're in a coffee queue, whether you're upstairs talking about a specific problem you have and someone weighs in and helps you. And from that and those kind of natural conversations, the things that people attend, that the space that they're in, magic happens. We've had people set up businesses together. We've had investments in businesses from other people that have been, pretty, not my story to tell. Some really, really great stories that have come out of it. And when we are allowed to, we celebrate it everywhere that we can.
Lovely. Have you had your first marriage yet?
Have we had our first marriage? We've got some people that have met here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Well, so generally
absolutely.
networking in all dimensions.
Yeah.
And you said the space upstairs, the upper floor and the mezzanine, that's members area and that's open 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Yes.
The public area downstairs here, when's that open?
It's Monday to Friday, and Monday to Thursday it's sort of office hours. And we tend to have quite a lot of business-focused events in the evenings, which are either private or public, ticketed, that type of thing. And then on a Friday, we're open a little bit later because the bar's open. We start with some
Mm.
member drinks at 3 p.m. and it goes from there.
That sounds more like it. And I'm looking around. It's a mixture of there's some lovely, comfy, leatherish looking couches there. There's some high top tables. There's little spaces for a couple of people to get together. There's bigger spaces, and there's solo working space as well. So it's a really lovely mix of different sort of seating, depending what you want to do there. And today, would you say it's a busy day out there?
I think we're in the midst of the summer holidays here today. I think a lot of people are away. We're you know busier upstairs than we are downstairs
Hmm.
today.
I'd
Lunchtime should change that.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably about 30% occupied at the moment, so there are seats around, so you could definitely come in, flop down, grab a cappuccino, and, get on your iPad or something like that down here. Be lovely. So, tell us a bit about you then, Kat. How did you end up being general manager of this amazing place?
Okay, so actually, I on Monday I've been with Nigel and Desi in Mill Street for 5 years,
Oh, congratulations.
which is crazy. So I and still do have a business in town, with my partner, and lockdown came and it was hospitality, and that didn't, you know,
Yeah, we know that
we know that one,
Yes.
and it's all good now, so it's a good news story in the end, but. It sort of ended up needing something else in my life, and I just saw an ad for an operations manager role or something like that. It wasn't my fit, but I was just so intrigued by this kind of like grassroots. We're doing something exciting. Wasn't quite sure it was. I thought, "Oh, bit of a journey. I want to get involved with that." Came and met Nigel, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't think that's sort of the role for you, but I've got something for you." And originally was a Mill Street connector, so that's what we're called, just Mill Street connectors.
Right.
And then it sort of went from there. I went to member success, so making sure that our members are succeeding, and how in all the different forms that we do that for you, for fun, for business, for good. Um, and then ended up in this role, and I don't actually know how I'm here, Tim, to be honest.
One of
Oh,
those
yeah.
journeys. But it is interesting, isn't it? And you see this so many times, is you see someone, you might have a vacancy or an opportunity in a business, and you see someone and you go, "You know what? This isn't the right opportunity for them, but I want them as part," and we'll find a way of bringing them in. And that's
Yeah.
clearly, what happened with you. And you clearly I've met you, 3 times now, I think, and every day you've got a smile on your face. You seem to
Ah.
be, enjoying buzz by it. What is it about working here you like?
Oh, every day is different. There is no 2 days the same. I know that sounds really cliche, but, even days where I am just firefighting all day, I love it because I'm not bored. I have great purpose. I'm making things happen. I'm impacting people's lives. I'm doing good things, things that you can really measure, and that to me is really, really exciting.
Yeah, it's very hands-on, isn't it? You can see immediately the consequences of what you're doing, which must be
Yeah.
both wonderful and terrifying at
Yeah.
times. Has anything ever happened here that you go, "Oh my goodness, I wasn't expecting that." Do you ever get any sort of weird stuff go on that, or surprising things that
Yeah,
you hadn't
honestly,
expected?
I thought when we first made the decision that this was a 24/7 building that a lot of weird stuff would happen. Um, Not particularly. We've had some people not make it home sometimes that have ended up on the sofa upstairs. It's kind of about as weird as it gets, but I think kind of the biggest thing for me was day one of opening, the radiators fell off the wall on the mezzanine. And we were like, "Wow." That was a pretty high stress situation,
Yes.
and but dealt with very, very quickly and well, and, I think for us that was the biggest thing, but honestly, in general, like, amazing things happen here. Some bits might be weird, but, nothing too out of the
Nothing.
ordinary.
No one lives here. No one sleeps in and spends the night on the couches or anything like that.
No, just yeah, it has happened. Yeah,
But
we're
not routinely.
not
It's not
routinely,
a service
no.
you offer.
We do work hard and play hard, though.
I bet, yes, it has that sort of feel to it. And when we met before, you were very keen to tell me about the fact that, this is a facility, but also it's a community focus. It's a community hub as well.
Hmm.
So just give, us a sense of what sorts of things One Mill Street does that
Yeah.
sort of reaches out beyond its walls.
Yeah, so I think, you know, For us, doorstep is really important. And when we say doorstep, we're just saying that we really want to help our community. So when we walk out this doorstep, it's those people. And it's not just the business community. I mentioned Make Good Grow, having an impact on those charities and good causes on our doorstep is a big thing. Um, we put on a lot of events, a lot of workshops, a lot of things to help that grow. And winning on your doorstep is a big one. Every year we put on winning on your doorstep. We get inspirational speakers and we just explore what winning means to them. Hosted by the amazing Alan Heap from Purple Monster. I don't know if you know him, but you absolutely
Not
need to get to know
yet.
that man. And that's an inspiring thing for the Leamington community as well. And all sorts of amazing events, to be honest. We do the Mill Street Exchange, which is a partnership with the university and the county council, where we help businesses just tap into different things, mainly funding, grants, having that triage of, actually, am I going to be able to get this? Is this going to help me? Are you wasting your time by doing this? That, it's a big thing for businesses. It takes a lot of time. We can sort of help triage that, help you through that, and hopefully, get a really good impact at the end of it. I think so far, we've raised like 1.4 million or something like
Wow.
that, just in this building with the Mill Street
Wow.
Exchange. So that's sort of helping the business community outside of these four walls. So we're not inclusive to this. We're open to helping anyone that walks through that door, that says, "Hey, I need a little bit of help."
And I love your motto. You're for good, for you, for fun, for business, and for good. I
Yeah,
think that's a really
our pillars.
rounded sort of sense of here's what we're here for. So brilliant that you can live that, not
Yeah.
just within building, outside. Can I ask, being south of the river, does that change your emphasis or focus or anything that in terms of if you were here versus if you were like, somewhere in the middle of the parade? Does that affect how you operate at all?
Yeah, I mean, we actually have a huge Southtown focus. Our newsletter is called the Southtown Scoop. It's not all about Mill Street. It's about all the amazing things that are happening down here,
Yes.
and trying to highlight that. We've got some incredible businesses and amazing things happening just there. I don't know if you've been down to like Brewball or Windmill Brewery, those
Mm.
types of places, like incredible. And I don't think enough people know about that. So we try and highlight those stories. And yeah, Southtown Scoop, I think we've created a Facebook group which we're trying to get off the ground a little bit. Just a bit of a notice board for people to maybe talk about specifically Southtown stuff. We've got a rewards platform where that first bar of our rewards platform for members is supporting the businesses down here. So we see it as a real strength. And hey,
And it is. I
it's
mean,
cool.
the South, yeah, Southtown it's full of amazing places. One of the very first episodes I did was down at Temperance with Adrian there, and again, one of my very first episodes was at the Southbound Cafe Bar with
Yes,
Carl
yeah.
Harris, which is a absolute gem. And all around, there's little things there that you wouldn't necessarily stumble over, but once you know they're there, you're really pleased to have discovered them.
Yeah, it's a
That's fantastic.
destination.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely, and increasingly so. So if someone wants to come and get involved in some way, maybe they're interested potentially in being a member, maybe they need sort of a bit more of a hot desky or permanent home, or they just want to like rock in as members of the public. What's the best plan for them?
The door's always open if you just wanna come and have a coffee. You don't need to pre-book for a tour or anything like that. Just come in, ask if someone's available. We love showing people what we do. We buzz off it, unpacking all the amazing things here. And we're always happy to show you around. If you wanna see what's going on, we have newsletters. We've got a socials channel. We push it out everywhere. It's on the signage. You can come in, you can read the board of what's coming on. There's lots of ways. It's in your face. Yeah, just get involved and come along to the stuff, I think, and you'll be welcomed.
Fantastic, because you've got a big digital footprint. You've got a website, you've got social channels, you've got your newsletters, but it's a physical space, isn't it? And so there's no shortage or no substitute for just walking in the door and
No,
having a look around, getting a feel for it, meeting the people
there's
here,
nothing
and
better.
then just getting in there.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Kat, thanks so much for showing us around One Mill Street today.
Thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure.